Okay, so this is how to create a job in Dronedesk. So you should now have a client, a location, and a drone. Once you've got all those three things, plus a team member obviously, then you're able to create a job. You can do that either from the menu on the left, clicking jobs, or from the jobs card, and then click new job. And again, you can create a job reference, which is just a kind of friendly name for the job, which is unique in the system for your business. So we'll call this test job 75. You can set the job progress. So this is the basic workflow in Dronedesk. So obviously every new job will be in a status of new. You can set a next action due date, which will default to a week's time from the date at which you create the job. And then you select a client. So we'll say ZCell for this, since that's the one we created earlier. And then we created a test location 1, 2, and 3. So let's go for 3. Lead pilot will default to you if you're the only team member in your business. And then primary drone, we created an Inspire 2 test. So we'll use that. Then you set the job start date and time. So we'll say 8:45 tomorrow. End time, let's say 9:45, hour-long job. And then you need to select a job type as well. So you've got the option of training, currency, or testing, but then you've also got a number of different job types that you can use. So let's say this is a wind turbine mapping survey job. You can enter some job description details, but that's optional. You can specify a Google Drive folder where you're going to keep additional files associated with this job if you want to. And then again, you've got optional fields for alternate contact information for the client, so that whilst the client might be a business, you might have a specific contact within that business that you might want to associate with this specific job. And then finally, you can select a project name. You don't have to assign a job to a project, but if you've got a project that encompasses a number of different sites, for example, you might want to create a project first and then assign a number of jobs to that project. Click Save New Record. And that's it. We've now got our first job in Dronedesk. So click on Go to Manage Job. And this is the kind of business end of Dronedesk. And I'll quickly run through all the tabs that are available here. So you get the job status at the top and the date. You can change that from there if you want to. You get basic information about the job. So the job reference that you entered, client details, the job location, which is derived from the location that you created earlier, and the lead pilot and primary drone. Then you get an initial survey form, which will allow you to detail kind of a desk survey. Dronedesk will have already tried to classify the airspace classification for you and fill that in. Then you've got a notifications tab, which will allow you to enter details about anybody that you've notified about your flight, record their details. Then you've got flyaway airspace users, so this will detail every airspace user within a flyaway radius of your flight location. You should get contact information for all those air users, which will save you a massive amount of time in looking details up. You get a current weather forecast, an hourly weather forecast for that specific day, with some red, amber, green indicators to show whether or not it's likely to be suitable for flying. So you can see from about 12 o'clock we should be definitely fine, but prior to that it might be a bit windy. There's a fair chance of rain. Then you get NOTAMs, so it will show you all current NOTAMs in this area, none for this job. Then you get the option of a site plan, and again you can modify the view to satellite or streets or Google. You can elect to show or hide FRZs, air hazards, airspace classes, ground hazards. It also includes National Trust and Crown Estates sites. Then you've got checklists. So this is a loading checklist, and I've elected in the settings options to make this a one-check checklist. So just single tick will make that one complete. Then we've got risk assessments. You've either got a standard risk assessment or OSC risk assessment available to you, whereby you select the initial risk and final risk in accordance with the CAA's risk matrix, probability and severity. So you select the initial probability and severity and then select the final after you've implemented mitigating measures. Then you've got an on-site survey. So this you would fill in, generally speaking, when you're on site. So metadata, temperature, cloud cover. If you're not sure about cloud types and who remembers all them, then there is an image that will help you. And then you've got further checklists, on-site checklist, pre-flight checklist. So this is set as an individual, so we need to run through each item for that. takeoff checklist, and landing checklist. And these are all configurable, and there are other videos that cover how to do that post-flight. And then we've got flight logs. You've got three choices: manual flight log, air data import, so you can upload air data CSV files here, that will log them. Or in settings integrations, you can set your air data user ID and password, and Dronedesk overnight will go and fetch all your flights from the previous day and load them in and attempt to match them to the jobs that you've got. And then finally is the financials. So you can issue a quote from here. If you've set up products, you can create a quote, and when you're ready, print that quote. That opens a print window. You can then save it as a PDF and send it off. If you've got a quote that you then want to turn into an invoice, just copy quote to invoice, and you can do exactly the same with the invoice. And then finally, that's where you'd find the Google Drive documents that you associate with this job. Back to the job table, and I think I called this test job 75. So there you go. You can see the job. The current progress is new. Next action date. If you expand the table, you can see the start, description, notes if there's any there. And again, you can view, edit, archive, delete. You can set the next action date from here. You can clone the job, which is really useful if you're revisiting a site, so that will create an exact copy of the job. The only thing you need to do is then review the NOTAMs and risks for the job when you revisit, and Manage Job will take you to that Manage Job screen that you saw a second ago. So back to that. Okay, so now you know how to create a job in Dronedesk. Thanks for watching.